Oh, hi, Mark. Just kidding. Today we're going to talk about how to make your sketchbooks extra pretty because I've got asked a lot. How do you make your sketchbooks look so good? And today I'm going to tell you my secrets. But it's not actually a secret, so I'm willing to share my tips and tricks to make your sketchbooks look good. Anyway, I have a question for you. Do you really enjoy filling up your sketchbook? If you don't, the case might be that you are not much of a sketchbook artist, or you chose a sketchbook that you don't like. It might be the paper, the binding, mostly the paper though, because it really depends if you like your sketchbook or not on the paper. So, if you work with markers, watercolors, or you prefer mixed media, or you only use your sketchbooks to sketch with pencils, liners, and other more graphic stuff, you should use sketchbook with, I don't know, like maybe 100 and more GSM paper, smooth paper, acid free, and maybe you should next time when you go and pick up your sketchbook, you should pay attention to the paper and also the format, A5, or maybe you should get yourself a square sketchbook or a bigger sketchbook, because the case is the smaller your sketchbook is, the harder it is to work in it. So I prefer something in between A4 and less, because if it's bigger, it's kinda not my vibe. But I really recommend you to figure out the size of your sketches and your drawings. Also, don't make them too small because it will be a struggle. So pick appropriate size, paper, and maybe the amount of pages is important too, because you can get easily tired of the paper. I know it may sound a little bit like stupid, like how do you get tired of the paper? But if you're a traditional artist, your paper is really important. It dictates how your mediums work, how your watercolors spread and dry, and how everything else just works together with the paper. So maybe get skinny sketchbook, because I don't really recommend big, thick sketchbooks. You get tired of them easily, because for the most part, that's what my experience has been, and it's the case for a lot of artists. So I know you're sitting here waiting to spill my beans about my tips and tricks about how to make your sketchbooks pretty. Just a moment, please. Grab some snacks, grab your sketchbook, and we'll be So, what do you need to make your sketchbooks pretty? First of all, my favorite technique that I use a lot is collage. It is really fun, and you should start collecting cool random pieces of paper to glue to your sketchbook. Try gluing stuff to your sketchbook, especially if it's some aesthetically pleasing packaging that you happen to save, or if it's a ticket from a gig, or if it's a cute Polaroid picture, save it. Also, I love drawing plants in books and gluing it to my sketchbook. Looks sick, and I really recommend it. So start collecting random pretty papers. And also you should get like some cool stickers, because that helps a lot too. Here are the examples of my favorite collage pages. Cue the montage. Montage me. You got this? Also, another way to make your sketchbook look cool. On one page, you sketch the thing that you want to draw. You sketch there like mini versions of the composition, you search for the colors and everything, blah blah blah. So do your sketching, and on the second page, you draw the clean final version of something that you wanted to draw. It always looks cool to show your thought process on one page and final thing that came out of it on the other. So this is really simple but really effective, and people see this and they're like, oh, so this is the work and this is the final artwork. That's so cool. So I really recommend doing this sometimes. And it's really cool because you too can see your entire thought process and the final piece of art. Just chef kiss. A lot of times you're not in the mood, or you don't know what to draw and you just stare at a blank piece of paper. Don't worry, I gotcha, because you can just use some reference. Also, for this tip to work, you need to start to gather your visual library, or you already have tons and tons of pictures that you saved up just in case to get you inspired. You can use Pinterest, you could, I don't know, you could use your aesthetic Tumblr blog you still have from 2014 where you saved a lot of cute pics, because that's what I do sometimes. So sketching from references and doing studies is really cool. You should try it if you don't feel like drawing today. So do studies, they are nice too. My fourth tip would be, do not oversaturate or clutter your sketchbooks. Sometimes less is more, and if you have this feeling of composition of air, if you give your drawings some space, they could look really nice. So all that space that is not filled up with sketches and drawings actually works to accentuate that one drawing that you have on the page, and it actually looks nice. So don't be afraid to leave some space. Don't be afraid to leave some blank pages or a page with like one frog face drawn on it, because sometimes your art needs space to breathe, and don't feel pressured to fill your sketchbook from top to bottom with drawings, because sketchbooks are your instruments to explore your creativity, and you are not obligated to draw on every page. Just saying. What we have next. This is a really cool idea. Have a specific page dedicated to collecting something, because I would steal stickers from fruits and I would stick them into my sketchbook, and yeah, that's cool. You could collect anything. Another tip would be make up your own challenge, like drawing with only specific colors you picked randomly. Make up a prompt list, fill it up with different cool ideas, or pick random materials to work with. Anything, really. Make up a challenge for yourself. It works nicely. And another tip I have, if you're stuck and you don't know what to do with your sketchbook, try some new mediums. Try watercolors, or maybe oil pastels, or any other material you have not worked with, because if you are a traditional artist and you love experiencing new stuff, changing your medium can be eye-opening and really inspiring. So try acrylic markers or watercolor brush pens, or buy yourself some new supplies to try them out. That could be really fun and just make you enjoy art again, because that was the case for me, and that material was oil pastels. I really enjoyed them, and I really recommend trying them too. I think that my last tip would be go crazy, go stupid. It's your sketchbook and only you decide how it works. It can be anything, basically. Glue stuff to it, write stuff in it, do anything you want, and I guarantee you that it will be fun doing it, because the best spreads, my favorite spreads that I've done in my sketchbooks, are the ones when I got crazy and got stupid. So you do you, and my ultimate tip would be do not don't try to put yourself in a box when it comes to art. And sketchbooks can be really different and really cool and inspiring. So I encourage you to experiment, to try new things, and to not be afraid. I sound like a biblical angel. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Bye bye!